The Battle Pass, quite the controversial topic in Overwatch 2. And if you're willing to play some quick play, if you're willing to queue up as flex, for any role there, it's not too bad to complete this daily. This will come pretty quickly if you're willing to flex queue. And then we see the seasonal stuff and the competitive stuff. Competitive gives competitive points. We don't care about that. The seasonal stuff, yes, it has some hero-specific stuff. Maybe eventually that'll end up in the hero tab. But you know what? You've got the whole season to do it. A lot of them will come naturally, especially if you play a collection of heroes there. It'll just happen as you're on different maps like Midtown. No problem. But then we get into the weekly. And while the weeklies do individually give Battle Pass experience over here, the thing about them that's different is that this is where you get your coins. And in theory, if you did all of these every week, every 2 seasons, you'd have enough to buy another Battle Pass. So you could sort of go alternate seasons, and what do you know? That lines up in theory with where new heroes are going to show up, which means you could get your new heroes very early in the Battle Pass by having the premium one as opposed to the non-premium one. So that would sort of be a goal for some people. And I can get that. That makes sense to me. But I think we run into a little bit of a problem here. Again, if you're willing to do some flex play, you're willing to do some unranked play or some quick play, whatever, you're going to get most of these pretty quickly. But you can see here, the one I have not yet completed is win 7 games in any arcade mode. So here's the problem with arcade mode in Overwatch 2. It doesn't have role lock. It's not 1-2-2. You can have as many tanks as you want, which makes everything a little bit goatsy. Tanks are, at this point, strong enough to survive without a second tank. So you find things like 4 tanks, 1 support. 4 brawlers with a Brig or a Lucio or things like that is quite powerful. Or maybe 3 tanks and 2 brawling supports. That sort of thing. Very good. But if you get one person in your game who doesn't want to do that, it's pretty compromising for your chance to win, because you have to win 7 games in any arcade mode. And this isn't play 3 games of arcade mode or 5 games of arcade mode. It's win 7 games in any arcade mode. So now you're stuck in a situation where there's no tank lock. There's no tank lock on any of the things that are in arcade. You got to win 7 of them, and you have to do it every week. That's a multiple hour departure, likely, from how a lot of people want to play the game that's been polished, the game that's been balanced around, the game that is Overwatch, which would be competitive play, quick play. I'm not saying arcade doesn't get included in part of the game of Overwatch, but it's just that. It's arcade. It's sort of a secondary mode. And I know there's people that absolutely love it, but it is not the game that is balanced and been made as good as it can be and is the premier face of the Overwatch game. That would be the standard game modes there. So having to take a multiple hour departure every week if you want to get these last 10 coins, I think people aren't really gonna like that. But what about you guys? Did you even notice that this was in here? Did you just get all your first 2 rewards and haven't even noticed you haven't completed this? Or are you all real arcade lovers and going, hey, this is absolutely great, I'm getting my rewards in arcade and I love me some arcade, and it's great with 3-4 tanks running around on both sides in every match? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And do you think there's a chance Blizzard will change this? Do you think we'll see in different weeks maybe this one gets shuffled out for a different one and this becomes only a rarely appearing one? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking Overwatch 2 content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.